Okay, so for the last of my testing sequence on the power folding mirrors is the puddle lights, and then the blind spot mirror DAP mirror connection and the light. So let's deal with the puddle light first. So with my power supply, I've traced the wires back, and the pins you want are pins 1 and 3. So those are the green and the black with blue stripe wire. And if you hook up negative to pin 3, which is the black with blue stripe, and positive to green, you can see we do have the puddle light rolling. So that quick check I did on both of the housings, and that works well and looks good. So in terms of checking the DAP blind spot indicator, we have to be careful to make sure we insert the wire properly into the back of the mirror. And if you look, the connector is keyed. So there's a little U key at the top, and so it can only go in one way. And as you can see, if you look on this side versus this side, there's a small mark. That mark should be facing upwards. The water seal we can worry about at a later time. So if you look in the back of the mirror, there's this slot. And that slot is where you want to push the connector. And you can't necessarily get it in because it's pretty deep. You can't really do it with just your hands. So I use a small flathead screwdriver and gently seat it. And it's seated now. So if we take pins from the end of the wire, you can see that there is this odd connector that's somewhat taped on the outside, because not all of the mirrors, folding mirrors, have DAP apparently. So the wire colors here are red and brown. Brown being the negative, red being the positive. So if we put our leads in and do a 12-volt power supply negative to the brown and green and positive to red, we should be able to then see the indicator rolling. It's hard to see with the lighting, but it is lit. So if I dim it a little bit, maybe yeah, there it is. So you can see it turning on and off. So that's working as well. So at this point, before I put everything together and decide that I'm going to leave it, I'm going to pull this wire back out very carefully without damaging it. And I have a few other modifications I want to make, and I'll cover that in a subsequent video. But like the housing video I did with how to mount these lights properly and to move the assembly out of the way to tighten the screw down or loosen the screw to get it out, you will have to have, in the case of my specific turn signals, this lead wire. And I position it so there's no pressure on the wire itself. It's kind of off to the corner behind the buttress. So in the subsequent video, I will wire this to the puddle light, and then we can reassemble the whole thing and start testing it.